Hey, Gen Xer. You've been planning to leave your job for years, but your plans never make it past your lunch break. Or maybe you're in a 2 a.m. Reddit rabbit hole investigating a business idea, but you haven't contacted anyone. Reinvention isn't one big leap. It's a series of predictable phases of career reinvention, and most people get stuck in one without realizing it. Today, I'm walking you through these 4 phases so you can figure out where you're stuck and how to move forward. This is Burn the Map, the podcast for Gen Xers dying to leave corporate and build something of their own. I'm Shelley McIntyre, a certified coach with decades of experience in corporate strategy and tech. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Let's get into it. Phase 1, Identity Crisis. Who are you without the job title? This is where most people get stuck first. Your identity is wrapped up in a title and you've lost touch with who you really are. Remember when you were 16 and someone asked you what kind of music you liked? You rattled off 5 bands immediately. Now someone asks what you're into and you go blank. That's what 20 years of corporate does. We need to rediscover your true identity. This means identifying your values, motivations, and strengths. Not what your employers rewarded, what's actually true about you. Remembering what lights you up can reveal the hidden parts you've kept locked away. The playful side, the performer, the artist. How do you start? It isn't about taking a BuzzFeed quiz to find out which Avenger you are. It requires deep, structured reflection. Explore your values and how you know they're true. What you go to the mat for when no one's watching. Identify which of your skills are underused and which ones you never want to use again. Getting clear about your identity outside of work will bring relief and self-recognition. Phase 2, Fear and Uncertainty. You can hear that quiet inner voice asking you to make a move, but your fear of change makes you spin through every worst-case scenario. Except you've handled plenty of change, including Blockbuster to Netflix. You adapted to all of it. So it might not be change itself you fear, but the feelings of loss that change creates. Working through phase 2 means debunking myths and building resilience. When you increase your self-trust, you'll be able to flow with the feelings that come from fear. On the other side, you can distinguish real risks from imagined ones. You have a foundation that lets you handle financial, emotional, and relational uncertainty. You start to trust yourself again, and that increases your courage to take on something new. What can you do now? Figure out what's within your locus of control and what's not. Shift your energy to what you can affect so you aren't wasting precious time on what you can't control. When you look at fear objectively, you build your capacity for change. You allow yourself to feel and release whatever comes up. Phase 3, Perfect Idea Pressure. You're waiting for the ideal business opportunity, the infallible idea that will guarantee comfort and security. Anything less than brilliance and you won't make a move. You know how many drafts Tolkien threw away before Lord of the Rings got published? How many businesses Nick Woodman tried before starting GoPro? Behind every brilliant idea is a trail of 1,000 failures, but we only hear the hero story at the end. You're stuck here if you say things like, I just need to figure out my passion, or you dismiss every idea because it isn't realistic or profitable enough. Moving through this phase means following your curiosity, even if it has no practical application yet. You don't feel pressured to come up with the next unicorn business. You see the future as a series of iterations just like your past was. You can name the problems you want to help solve and your priorities for how to work and live. Start by exploring the dreams you gave up on. Remember when you wanted to be a marine biologist or a photographer? Poke around back there to see if there is still a spark. Figure out what you can let go of and what must come with you. Name your non-negotiables. Self-imagining like this opens up possibilities, which is way more fun. Phase 4, analysis paralysis. You have ideas, you're doing research, and then more research. You've got 47 browser tabs open about business formation, a shelf full of business books, and a notebook filled with plans. But you haven't done anything. You're trying to plan and read your way into the next thing without taking action. You tell yourself you can't make progress until you quit your job, or until the economy stabilizes, or until Mercury is out of retrograde. Consistent action in any direction will build your confidence. The more you experiment, the more discernment you'll develop for what actually fits. On the other side of this phase, you start testing your ideas through small, low-risk experiments. You see how it feels to actually do the thing, not how it looks on paper, how it feels in your body when you're doing it. This deeper level of certainty opens doors and increases your bravery. You can start now. Take on a side project, attend an event, offer to help someone for free just to see if you like the work. With every action and conversation, you'll get clarity about what's worth pursuing and what isn't. These experiments give you data about whether an idea is viable and whether it lights you up or drains you. So where are you stuck? Which of these phases of career reinvention feels most familiar right now? Or are you cycling between them? Phase 1, still tangled up in your job title. Phase 2, knowing what you want but immobilized by fear. Phase 3, waiting for the perfect idea. Or Phase 4, endlessly researching but never testing. Wherever you are, that's your next move. That's where to focus. You can keep circling through these phases on your own, or move through them faster with support. After coaching dozens of Gen Xers through this, I've learned it's slower, lonelier, and easier to quit when you're doing it alone. That's why I created the Reinvention Partnership Program. It's a 5-month coaching program for Gen Xers who are serious about leaving corporate and building something that actually fits. We move through the 4 phases, keeping outcomes in mind. 1. Unmask your true identity. We dig into who you are underneath the job title, your core values, motivations, and strengths. 2. Disarm fear and build your foundation. We address the doubts and fears keeping you stuck. We build the resilience you'll need to handle uncertainty. 3. Design your next chapter on your terms. We uncover what you actually want, not what you think you should want. Your deal breakers, your priorities, the problems you want to solve. And 4. Experiment to move toward what's next. We test ideas, small experiments, low risk. You gain clarity about what's worth pursuing, and you develop an actionable plan for getting out of corporate, whether that's immediately or in another year. Interested? Visit burnthemapcoaching.com/apply and complete a brief application. We'll talk to see if it's a good fit. If you're tired of circling these phases of reinvention alone, we'll work together to build clarity, confidence, and structure that fits your next chapter. Not ready for this? That's okay. Keep listening to the podcast. Try the exercises I share. Reinvention isn't mysterious. It's a process you can learn. Even if you can't imagine a way out right now, there is one. It takes some work, but your freedom, time, and happiness are on the other side. You are worth the effort. Burn the map. Build what fits. Thanks for listening to Burn the Map. Gen Xer, you already have what you need to build a life that feels like yours. Want more tools and insights? Head to burnthemapcoaching.com. And if this episode sparked something, send it to a friend. It might be exactly what they need to hear.